15, begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is this, Marie?
Roll call, Mr. Reba.
Mr. Bonomo?
Here.
Mrs. DeCosmo?
Here.
Mr. Fume?
Here.
Mrs. Kay? Here. Mr. Mahalik?
Here.
Mrs. Scarcella?
Here.
Mr. Szymanski?
Here.
Mr. Van Hoeklen?
Here.
And Mr. Zola?
Here.
I'd like to announce the following executive sessions which were held June 6th, executive budget meeting, June 12th, negotiations, June 20th, personnel negotiations, and June 28th, personnel. Mr. Upplinger?
Okay. That's going to be interesting.
This is one of the fun parts of my job, and I get to introduce to us this evening some amazing students for their academic accomplishments. And they've won first place in different events through our Hazleton area gifted program. So without further ado, Gianna, and I'm sorry if I butcher the last, I'm terrible with names. Geronda, Brianna Kennedy, and Emily Trella. They're for first place win in animation at the WVI Film Festival. Emily Trella again. Brianna Kennedy, Avery Jacobs for their first place wins in animation. And Sanjay Sares for his first place win in logo design at the Luzerne Intermediate Unit 2018 PA Computer Fair. Megan Kernis for being chosen as the winner of the Lehigh Valley Hospital Name the Surgical Robot Contest. First place goes to wins at the eCyber Mission Science and Math Competition. 6th grade, Caleb. Oh boy, to help me. Kamisha, thank you. James Greenwald. James Reinhold. Kiera Cupshow and Elizabeth. He's not here, so I won't have to say it. Kiera, correct? Okay. Gianna Labert, Lucy Olander, Isabel Sarich, and Molly go for Cyber Mission, eCyber Mission as well. Congratulations, Molly. It'll only take me a couple years to learn 11,700 names. Congratulations. Okay, James Kozlak for his first place win with the web design category to PA Middle School Computer Fair. Kozlak. All right, there you go. Thank you.
God bless.
Mateo Viola, Liam Shive for winning first place for their video Kids Cooking at the WVIA Box of Light Educational Video Contest. Tessa? Okay. Ben Nowak? No. And for their first place win at the Pennsylvania 2018 ArcGIS Online AGO Map Competition, and are now entered into the national competition. And Alana Godola, but she won the WVIA 2018 Great Teachers Essay Contest. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you. I'm finished.
Congratulations, everyone. Public comment directed to the board on agenda items only. Just make note, we are removing 2 items from the agenda, item 25 and 59.
Yes, sir.
Listen, if you want them back on, we'll put them on. You don't have to leave.
Everyone have a great summer.
Good job.
Okay, we'll see.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyone signed up there? Tony? Mr. Brownwell?
Bob Child.
My name is Bob Childs. I live at 2220 Sunburst Drive, Hazel Township. I'm here to speak on item number 81, which is a list of retirees. But first, I'd like to thank Superintendent Uplinger for sitting down with the Human Relations Committee at the end of April. We talked about a number of items that were of concern, and I'm sure he's brought them to your attention already. I wanted to address one specifically this evening, and that is that you have now teachers retiring. And one of the iniquities that was brought to Superintendent Uplinger's attention is the distribution of personnel. You have 52% or more of your population, student population now that's Latino. You have no Latino administrators. You have no Latino police. You have, I believe, 2 teachers out of 750 or thereabouts. Okay, it's a kind of a big sore thumb that's hanging out there. Now, what I'm here to suggest is that, certainly not any reduction in the quality of teachers that you're hiring. That is, I want to be very emphatic about that. But on the flip side of that, it strikes me that there have to be ways of trying to develop some sort of role models within this district for your very large Latino population. And right now, that's just missing. People that they can talk to when they have problems, people who understand the culture. What I would, you currently have as Secretary of Education, Mr. Rivera. He's certainly familiar with Hazleton, and he's certainly familiar with the problems we have here, similar problems in other districts, of course. But I think he would be wide open to any kind of innovative suggestions that you folks have in terms of getting Latino teachers here. One to mention is that, this is a emergency certification type situation, might be considered. There are a number of others that you could come up with, but my understanding is that he would be quite open to any innovations that you folks might come up with. This situation obviously can't continue indefinitely. So again, the challenge is in front of you. I hope you'll come up with some good ideas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from the regular meeting of May 20.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Joe Barletta, Principal, Freeland Elementary Middle School. As Act 93 President, co-worker, and a friend, I'd like to acknowledge Maureen DeRose, Rosemary Hockenberry, and Susan Salvatierra. Their 93 years of service given to the Hazleton Area School District, their leadership and guidance to students and faculty. And I'd like to, again, wish them good health, happiness in their retirement. To the board, I want you to so note that passionately they worked right up until the last day of school. That's the quality and integrity that we have in our new group here at Hazleton. Thank you.
Right. Congratulations and great job to them. Motion to approve the meeting minutes, regular meet, motion by Mr. Bonomo,
Second.
second by Mrs. DeCosmo. On the question, Mr. Reba.
All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Motion to approve the treasury report. Motion by Mr. Bonomo.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mahalik. On the question, Mr. Reba.
All in favor of approving the treasurer's report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Mr.
Okay.
Uppinger.
Under Curriculum and Instruction, Career Center, approve items 1 through 4 with one motion.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo, second
Second.
by Mrs. Scarcella. On the question, Mr. Reba.
On numbers 1 through 4, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Page 2, approve items 5 through 12 with one motion.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Zola. Second by Mr. Szymanski. On the question, Mr. Reba.
Numbers 5 through 12, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Page 3, items 13 through 18 with one motion.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo. Second. Second by Mr. Szymanski. On the question, Mr. Reba.
Numbers 13 through 18, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
On page 4, under Special Education ESL Alternative Education Committee, approve items 19 through 26.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo.
Second.
Second by Mrs. DeCosmo. Question, Mr. Reba.
Numbers 19 through 26, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Just prior to moving on, if we just note that number 25 was removed. Under English Language Development, ELD, approve items 27 through 30 with one motion.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Zola.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Scarcella. On the question, Mr. Reba.
Numbers 27 through 30, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Security 31, recommend board approve the request for permission
So
to...
move.
Motion by Mr. Zola. Second by Mr. Bonomo. On the question, Mr. Reba.
Number 31, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Under Technology, approve items 32 through 39 with one motion.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo. Second. Second. On the question, Reba.
Numbers 32 through 39, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Page 7, approve items 40 through 42.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Scarcella. On the question, Mr. Reba.
Numbers 40 through 42, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Number-
opposed?
I do. Number C, no.
No on 41.
All of 41?
Yes.
And Mrs. DeCosmo's no on 41C.
And I'm on C as well.
Mrs. DeCosmo, Mr. Mahalik, and Mr. Zola's noting their no votes. Motion passes.
Under Finance, approve items 43 through 54.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo. I'll second. Mr. On the question,
The tax, 44, should that be separate? Or are you gonna do them all? Okay.
any other questions? Mr. Reba.
Numbers 43 through 54, all in favor, say aye.
I'm a
Any
no.
opposed?
No on 43 and 44.
Ayes have it, noting Mrs. K's no vote.
Item 55 on page 9, pay the bills.
We have a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. Cosmo.
Second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Scarcella. Question.
Mr. Mahalik. Voted. Garcelos, second?
Second.
No questions, Mr. Reba?
Number 55, A through H, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No on 8.
I'm a no on 8.
Ayes have it, noting Mr. Bonomo, Mrs. K's no vote.
Approve items 56 through 73 with one motion.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo. Second. I'll second. Question. Mr. Reba?
Number 56 through 73, excluding 59, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
On page 11, approve items 74 through 82 with one motion.
Motion by Mr. Bonomo.
Second.
Second by Mrs. DeCosmo. On the question. Mr. Reba?
Number 74 through 82, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Just a word to say congratulations to everyone that's retiring. You know, I looked through the list. I know a lot of the people. I worked with some of them, quite a few of them actually, and I wish you all the best for your retirement and good luck.
They're going to be hard to replace.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I see a lot of people on here that I know also. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your service and dedication, and congratulations, and good luck also.
Item number 83, recommend board approve the revised job description for the position of supervisor of special education, PK to 12.
Motion?
Not make
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Bonomo, second by Mr. Mahalik. On the question. Mr. Reba?
Number 83, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Mr. Mahalik, you had,
Mr. President, if I may, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Rocco Petrone as director of our Hazleton Area High School, effective July 1st, 2018.
second that motion. On the question. Mr. Reba?
Open to the public.
I'm sorry, public comment. That's an addition. Does anyone want to speak on that item before we vote? Okay, Mr. Reba?
On the new motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Yeah, with that, I'd like to, I actually have two that I'm going to bring up, and they're not on because they've been discussed at a few of our different meetings in executive sessions, and I think it's time I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to make a motion to appoint Marie Ernest to principal of the Hazleton Area Academy of Science, and make that effective July 1st of 2018.
I second that motion. On the question there. Discussion from the audience regarding that addition. Mr. Reba?
On the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
And one last, I'm going to make a motion to post for the Dean of Students for two of our buildings that'll be coming open. And that's just to post for the positions at this.
We have a motion by Mr. Zola.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Scarcella. Anyone from the audience? On the question. Mr. Reba?
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Are we okay with the, I'd like to make a motion regarding the lease agreement with the castle. Can we look at, if I can maybe look towards our solicitor, I just want,
Reopening it or terminating?
yeah, just negotiating, as I know there was a part of this agenda this evening that is, you know, basically for giving a $1 million loan to the committee. So I think what we need to do is, you know, go back in and look at the terms of the agreement. So it's,
Make the motion.
okay, so I'd like to make a motion to renegotiate the terms of the agreement between the Hazleton Area School District and the Wilsey Committee regarding the use of the center as a community center.
Motion. Mr. Mahalik, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. DeCosmo. Question?
Motion
I
is to
mean, my motion is
renegotiate.
to renegotiate.
Want to
Yeah.
renegotiate?
Correct.
You probably terminate, if you're going to terminate based upon the forgiveness, terminate, and then renegotiate
Okay.
if you want to modify.
So change
Okay.
his motion
Wanna-
to
wanna amend that?
terminate the
Yeah.
agreement first.
Okay,
We'll
So,
renegotiate.
we have,
based-
you
based upon
second
the,
that? He made an
forgiveness.
amendment to
Oh,
his motion.
okay. Second that.
Okay. Motion
So-
by Mr. Mahalik, second by Mrs. DeCosmo. Question? Anyone from the audience wish to be heard regarding that addition? Mr. Reba?
On the motion, all in favor of terminating the agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passes.
Again, if I could just clarify that, you know, the intent is hopefully to still have the center operated as a, you know, as an entertainment complex. It's just giving, you know, $1 million loan forgiveness. We certainly just have to look at, you know, the structure of that, and hopefully the district can somehow recoup something.
Something
That's
from,
a big blow to the community and quite honestly to our students.
I'm sorry, before we adjourn, I do want to echo the sentiments passed on to our retirees. For sure, it was great working with all of you for the 10 months I've been here. So thank you all and congratulations on your retirement.
yes.
I also want to make note that congratulations to our Teamsters for negotiating a successful contract with the district. So
Yes.
thank you for
congratulations.
your great work at the table. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Good job. Before we open to any other comments, I just want to, I had the honor of being at the graduation this year and speaking at the high school graduation. I just want to say, I know Mr. Petrone is gone, but what a great job he and his staff and everyone involved did. It ran just like a well-oiled machine, and just to sit there and see the students and their parents, you know, up here, this isn't always the easiest job we have for many reasons, and just being there and seeing that and seeing those students puts it in perspective and makes it worth it, that whatever we go through here. So I was really impressed.
I think we have, you know, we have something special the way we do our graduation outside at that venue. I mean, if we had it anywhere else, well, number one, we don't have the room, and I'd like to especially thank Ronnie and his crew, because every year they do a fabulous job, and we have, that graduation is one of probably the best in the state.
Everyone that set up and everything, the security ran it. It was awesome.
I said it last week at at our committee meetings, that security is kind of like, you're hidden in there, you know, but you're doing a great job in keeping everyone safe. When I think of the number of people that come onto the campus, the number of cars that you park, and everything that has to be, you know, watched, you do a great job.
Yeah.
Maintenance always super. You have it down to a science. You know, they put pins in a number of years ago into the ground, so now they know exactly where to run their lines and everything. It's really super, and
It was.
the administration, the way they handle the students, fantastic.
Absolutely set up beautifully, and like I said,
Teachers,
teachers,
and that's why
everyone.
in that I meant all of you.
Yeah, it's everyone. It's
Everyone, absolutely, absolutely.
Everyone came together and put a great.
They did.
If there's nothing else from the board, does anyone from the audience wish to be heard? Dr. Child?
forget to state your name and your address.
Just to clarify, any teacher coming into this state, from out of state, takes 2 to 3 years to get certified. And that's why the comment about emergency certification for people who might, Latino teachers might be coming in. The reason I'm up here though this time, we have in your disciplinary action, you have suspensions of people and so forth. I had a young man in my office this morning, 10th grader, significantly overweight. Apparently made some kind of comment in front of students who all laughed and a teacher who didn't laugh about the fact that if he didn't quit being bullied, that this could become another Parkland. Okay, the sentiments were not nice, but at the same time, he and his mother both said they'd talked to 3 different teachers on 3 different occasions about the fact that this child was being bullied about his weight, and nobody did anything. Now, okay, you can put a lot of money into safety, but if you miss the underlying culprit, if nobody does anything to stop the bullying, Mr. Zola very correctly pointed out, you get somebody who's determined to do damage here, and they can do damage. They will do damage. Okay, Mr. Mahalik has said previously that it's a matter of how when it comes to trying to protect the student body, it's a matter of how many lives you're going to lose, not a matter of whether somebody can break through, and that's correct too. But what I'm suggesting to you is that you need to go back, at least with your teachers. You need to make sure that they're sensitive to the kids who come to them and say, "I'm being bullied." Security obviously needs to do the same thing, but you can't just put this kid on. This child was expelled. You can't. That doesn't solve the problem. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I mean, Doc, I don't know if you saw just in Maryland tonight, a shooting in a
In a newspaper?
newspaper office.
Yeah.
The details were sketchy when I left to come here, but, you know, through the front door, you know, yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's a lot to think about.
Doc, on your suggestion on Latinos, I mean, you were here many years. Correct me if I'm wrong, we just don't get applicants from the Latino for teaching positions?
Yeah.
So are you recommending we recruit? Is that basically what you're
Yeah. Mhm.
And, and if I may, I certainly don't disagree. There's a process that we have to go through as a district to make sure that it's an emergency situation. And there's a number of hoops that we have to jump through as a district to make sure that that PDE realizes it's an emergency. What they will say is, you have a pool of applicants. They may not be Latino. You just have to take who you get. You know, you just have that pool to pull from. So they may not consider it an emergency, but I understand what you're saying is solicit them and say, hey, we have an emergency. We have this Latino population, and that's where we need to draw from more. So that might help.
Hi, my name is Janet Gasser. I live at 888 Cybert Street in Hazleton, and I'm here on the agenda number 66. I realize that it has been denied and it's going to go into arbitration, but I just want to know if you're aware that the air quality for our students there's no air conditioner, there's no movement of air. We have students with asthma, we have students with diabetes, I have students who are pregnant. It's just not conducive to learning. There were times that we couldn't even get water. Sometimes this year the water was brown and we couldn't even let them go out for water. And I would just like to go on record that I think we need to work to help us with our goal of.
I mean, we're going to try to address all those needs. Personally, I feel that high school was part of our renovation project. is gonna need air conditioning.
Yeah.
I mean, we are
Thank you.
looking at it, we're not turning our backs to it, and that's part of what
Our project.
our project, our building project, we are addressing those issues. Because of safety issues, we have to keep the doors closed, so
Yeah, we understand
Yeah,
that. We want,
right.
we
have to
commend
get you air
that area for
conditioning,
that.
and it will be, you know, we'd have to look at putting a chiller in, you know, changing your univents to where you can get air conditioning through your univent. So we are gonna look into that and most likely do it.
Yeah.
We're not turning our
Yeah,
backs.
we're not turning
Absolutely not.
our backs on.
Thank you, that's,
Yeah.
I just want to be aware, just want to make sure you're aware of that. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
Thank you.
but we will be addressing it in the near future.
Okay, thank you, that's
Thank
all I
you.
asked.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Zoll.
Second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Scarselli. Meeting adjourned.